Today, let's take a look at what plant cells look like underneath the microscope. Now, this is a fairly simple lab. You need a microscope. You're going to need some blank microscope slides. You're going to need some aquatic plants. They tend to work a little bit better that I grabbed out of my local pond this morning. And then a red onion. Now, if you don't have a red onion, you can use a different kind of onion, but you just need some stain in order to see it. So we're going to start off looking at the onion cells. We want to slice that onion, and then we're going to peel back the layer, all right? Just like ogres, onions have layers, and so we're going to peel that layer back until we get a layer that's just one cell thick. Now, the nice thing about this red onion is going to be naturally stained for us, so it should show up in the microscope without us having to add any iodine to it. Here, you see I get a massive chunk of onion cells that have that nice purple color. We should be able to see all right. Now we're going to take that layer and we're going to lay it flat out on our slide. Now, in a perfect world, I would have a slide cover. I do not. Instead, I have two microscope slides. So we're going to lay that cover out, or that onion out, and then we're going to put the second slide over the top. And you're going to see that I immediately mess up and roll that layer of onion over itself and making it unviewable. So let's back at it again for round two. Take a chunk of that onion layer, that onion skin. We're going to carefully put it onto the cell, and then we're going to take our time this time and smash it down in between like a sandwich so we can take a look at that. Now we're going to go over to our microscope, and we're going to look underneath scanning power. Always start underneath the scanning power, and so you can focus and find the cells that you're looking at. And we're going to take a look at what this looks like. Now, when we zoom in, we should be looking at for things like cell walls when we're looking at the onion cells. So we see here, we have our dyed and undyed cells, but we can see very clearly they look like kind of bricks that are all stacked together. Those are those plant cell walls. And then if we zoom in, those little dark circles in there, those are going to be our nuclei. So each cell has one nucleus that we can see clear as day underneath the low power objective lens of our microscope. Now we can contrast that onion cell with our plant cells that we have here. Now keep in mind this is a leaf, whereas onions are roots, so we're going to see some different structures. We're going to take that pond water plant that we grabbed. Usually it's Elodia. I couldn't find any this morning, so we have a different aquatic plant. And this one's a lot more simple. We're going to take that leaf, we're going to put it on the slide, we're going to smash it down, making it nice and flat so we just see things that are one cell layer thick. We're going to take that slide and we're going to put it underneath our microscope, once again underneath that scanning power. And we're going to take a look at our plant cells here. Now we notice right away we can see the cell walls, that grid, the bricklaying system, but they're much smaller. All right, they're much smaller, and so there's a lot to look at. And so we're going to zoom in under that low power, and we should start to see our chloroplasts. So we see a lot of green discs here, and those are going to be the chloroplast of the leaf that are responsible for photosynthesizing. Once again, so we take a look here a little bit closer, and you see those green disc-shaped objects. Once again, the reason that we couldn't see them in the onion plant, think about it, onions grow not underwater, but underground, and so they don't need chloroplast. Instead, the chloroplasts are all found in the leaves of plants. Here's a second aquatic plant that I grabbed a sample of. Not quite as clear, it's a little darker there. But you can see the nuclei inside the cells, the cell walls, and then some chloroplasts on the edges. Hey, subscribe for more science lessons, and then click the video below to go into more detail about these particular cell parts and what they do for plants. Thanks for watching.